Hi everyone, it's Kate from The Fold Line. I am back this week to talk new sewing pattern releases for July. This is where we do a roundup, if you haven't seen it before, of indie sewing pattern releases for the last month. For those of you who are thinking, have I moved location? I haven't. I finally decorated my office, and when I say it was a team effort, but yeah, so I'm in the same place, but it's finally gone from grey to actually a colour that I wanted, which is very nice. So I've got 2, 4, 6, 8 patterns to talk you through. Then there'll be a link down below to a blog post where you can catch up on all of the other releases for the last month, where we do a roundup of everything. And I'm going to get cracking. So I'm going to start off with probably our easiest pattern actually of the ones that I'm going to show you. This is the Esme top from Jennifer Lauren Handmade. It comes in sizes 6 to 24 with A, B, C and D cups, or 16 to 34 with C, D, E and F cups. So it's fantastic that it's got all these cups sizes, especially because this is a jersey pattern, and a lot of people who do jersey patterns don't bother to do a cup sizes. So this is a really lovely simple top, and Jennifer Lauren, if you haven't come across her, it has quite often her older patterns have a real vintage twist, but she does really great basics with a really nice twist. So this is a very simple jersey top. You can either choose between this quite nice V-neck. It's quite a high V with a nice kind of wrap over crossover detail at the front, or you can choose this sort of slightly, I guess, how do you describe this collar? It's really nice, like a shawl collar wrap. The sleeves are very slightly batwing on this, so it's a bit of a nod to a sort of 50s batwing, you know, those sort of high necked tops. Yeah, I guess a shawl collar is what you would call it, and you can have it, you can make it as a t-shirt, you can have it as a long top, but there's lots of things that you can do with this, and I know that you guys will look at this and be like, great, I need a few of these in my life, so I thought I'd start with that one. Next up, we've got the Andrea wrap dress and top from Blue Dot Patterns. This comes in sizes 8 to 22. I love this dress. I think this is a dress that could look great on loads of different people. Let me show you. I'm almost gonna, before I'll show you the dress and then I'll show you the line drawing so you can see what is going on, because there's quite a lot of nice detail on this pattern. So you can see that it's got princess seams. It's got this interesting slanted seam at the sort of top of your chest. And then it has this wrap feature that kind of feeds through from the kind of central panels round to the back, and it ties. I really like this because it's kind of a wrap dress with a bit of a twist. It's also got nice details on the back. There are seams going all the way down, kind of princess seams at the back of the dress as well. So in terms of getting the fit right, this is going to be a really nice dress to kind of fit. There's also a variation where you can make it into a top with slightly puff sleeves, which I think is also really beautiful, and there are 2 different length options. So there's quite a lot going on in this pattern. I think it's really pretty, and I think I can tell that loads of you guys are going to love this as much as I do, so pretty pleased with that one. Next up, we have got the Sandpiper Swimsuit from Helen's Closet. I was so excited to see this. I absolutely love this shape. So size wise, this comes in a UK 6 to 34. There's a B cup pattern for sizes 0 to 22 and a D cup pattern for sizes 12 to 34, which is fantastic, especially in swimwear. I love the shape of this. I think it's such a great pattern, and I know that you guys are going to love it as much as I do. So there are 2 variations, and the variations come in the pant. So you can choose between a sort of standard bikini pant or a high-waisted one that sits just above your belly button. I love the shape of the top. It's almost like a racer sort of style top. It's got a racer back. I love this because it's almost, especially the one that's sort of the high-waisted ones, it's almost like a mixture. It's kind of like a tankini kind of bikini, but not showing too much. I know a lot of us are less comfortable showing our stomachs, And this is great because actually the bit that it does show is just below your bust. I think it's really clever design and it will look great on loads of people. It's got a great size range as well. So if you are thinking about sewing swimwear, have a go at it, because if you've sewn anything with jersey before, you have pretty much all the skills you need to make swimwear. And Helen's Closet has really fantastic instructions as well, so she will hold your hand through the whole process. So it's definitely worth having a look at. I think it's such a great swimsuit. Right, next up we have got the Cortland Trench from Grainline Studio. This comes in sizes UK 8 to 30. Sorry, it's now all the designers are splitting all the sizing. It makes it very hard to keep up with what I'm supposed to be doing. Saying. This is great because we haven't had a release from Grainline Studio for ages, and I was getting kind of panicky that we hadn't had one for a while, but this is a really fantastic one. And for those of you who might not have discovered them, they're one of the first indie designers, and they just do really fantastic, I would say trend-led patterns, like classic, basic, core items that you will never go out of style, that you'll always want in your wardrobe. And this trench coat is really lovely, and I think you guys are going to love it as much as me. So the thing about this that I like is it's a crop trench, but it has all the details that you'd expect on your classic trench. So there's a storm flap, it's double-breasted, there's a proper notch collar, it's got raglan sleeves. So it's quite an involved make. On the back, there are two options you can choose for. There's another storm flap, so you can either have it as one panel on the back, or you can have it kind of properly overlapping at the centre back. It's quite loose fitting. You can see from the kind of the model and the line drawing, it flares out from underneath underneath the sleeve, so it's quite loose fitting. I just think this is a great pattern, and I think the thing that's really nice about this is that you could make it for the deep midwinter in a really lovely thick wool, or you can make it as a summer jacket in a cotton, and this to me makes it really worthwhile because you'll get loads of wear out of it. And if you make it and spend the time getting the fit right, that means that you can then have it as a summer jacket as well, especially in the UK where the summer just doesn't particularly happen. Yeah, so I'm absolutely delighted that they've released this, and I think it's a really great pattern. I think it's fab. So next up we have got the ZW Soft Blouse from Brigitte Hemmelson. This comes in sizes 6 to 26. Right, so let's talk a little bit about the pattern because I think it's really interesting. It's so her sort of USP, which if you've seen any of my videos I've mentioned a couple of times, she uses, her concept of patterns is zero waste, so it means that you don't throw away leftover bits of fabric, which means quite a lot of her patterns are quite loose fitting and boxy, which I personally love, but that's her sort of kind of silhouette, quite boxy. So this top has a, almost, you can see if I show you the line drawing, very square shaped, slightly cropped. There's a seam, there's a dart at the bust, and then there are two sleeve options which are fantastic. So the first one is, let me just pull this up, sorry, I got confused. So the first one is a short sleeve version which has got a kind of like a ruffle that I think is folded back on itself. So almost it's the same pattern piece as the one below it. I'm assuming, I haven't had a look at the actual files yet, but I think that's how it works. So it's got this lovely kind of ruffly big statement short sleeve, or you can go for the longer sleeve as we are heading now slightly towards colder times. I know it feels weird because we're at the beginning of August, but you know, the seasons are changing slowly. And then there's this long sleeve version that has a ruched sleeve, which is gathered in with an elasticated cuff. Very simple to make, really nice shape, and if you like that sort of boxy feel, then check out the rest of her patterns because you're gonna love them. And she's got some unisex ones as well. But yeah, this is a lovely pattern, definitely worth having a look at. So next up we've got the Cynthia Blouse from Vicky Sews. This comes in sizes 6 to 20. I will say with Vicky Sews patterns, if you haven't come across them before, they're a Russian designer. They release loads of patterns, beautiful patterns, but they nest them in three. The kind of their USP is that they create patterns for different heights. So if you are taller or smaller, I'm sure you've had fitting problems where you've had to take things in and change things just because of your height. These patterns take into account your height, and so they're sort of nested slightly differently within the size rangings. So we've got a size UK 6 to 10, UK 10 to 14, and UK 14 to 20. So you pick which size you need, if that makes sense. I picked this because I thought this was really on trend with a lot of things that I've seen in the shops this summer and moving forward into autumn. A really classic oversized shirt. Who doesn't need this in their wardrobe? It's gorgeous and it's got all the things that you'd expect. So the pattern has a proper collar, buttons down the front, dropped sleeve. It's got a really nice pleat in the back, which I like, which adds to its sort of oversized shape. You can see here it worn over a pair of trousers. It just is nice relaxed fit. The sleeves look to me like they're quite there's quite a lot of volume in the sleeve, which is really nice, and then it goes into a proper cuff. So it's an involved make, it's a proper shirt, but I think if you make this and like this is never ever going to go out of style, and you'll be able to whip them up, you know, each year or so in another colourway, and then you'll have a collection of perfect shirts. So yeah, I'm really chuffed. I love that one. Next up, now I know I've been a bit naughty, this is the second pattern from Helen's Closet, but this is the Reynolds Top Dress. I thought it was too good not to mention it because it's really lovely, and I know loads of you have absolutely gone mad for this pattern. So let me show you the line drawing, you can have a look at it. It's actually a really simple shape, but there's really nice features. Before I get into that, sizing, that's what I haven't done. UK 6 to 34. Again, there's a B cup option for sizes 0 to 22 and a D cup for sizes 12 to 34, which is fantastic. It's a very simple strap dress. It's got really nice thick straps, which I like if you're wearing a bra so you don't see your bra straps. It's got darts at the bust. There's a top variation and the dress variation. You can either choose between a kind of ankle length version with a slit up the side, or a knee length version that has slightly smaller slits. But again, those are optional, you don't have to put them in if you don't want to. But it's a really nice shape. It's got pockets. It's just, you know, again, another really nice classic shape, which I think you'll love. And now I'm looking at it, I've said it's ankle, but actually looking at the pictures, it's midi more than ankle. So, but you could extend it and make it a maxi if you wanted it to. So yeah, I think this is a really good pattern, fantastic for summer, a great layering piece. And for those of you who haven't made or have made the Ogden cami and are looking for something similar to that, but you know, different, the top version of this could be really nice. So definitely worth going and having a look at. So next up, we've got the Leah Dress and top from Pattern Society. This comes in sizes 8 to 22. This is another gorgeous pattern that I think loads of you will love. It's really nice and simple, really great summer dress. I think also you could make this in something, depending on the fabrication you use, I think this could be something that you can make to wear to an event. It's quite smart. So the two variations, there's a sleeveless, it's V-neck, sleeveless, quite boxy shape. It's got bust darts, and you can make that into a dress or a top. The other version has these really sweet flutter sleeves, but it also has a seam on the waist, which I personally prefer in terms of fit. I think for me, I think you can get a better fit if you've got a waistband. So I would, but you could use view A and take the sleeves off if you wanted the sleeveless version. It's really lovely and simple. I love that this kind of linen, that kind of really lovely pinky linen that she's made it in big buttons. There are pockets, which is fantastic. It's just a fantastic dress. I think you could get a lot of wear out of this. So that is it from me. I hope that was useful, and make sure you go and have a look at the blog post with everything else for the last month, and I will be back soon with another video. Bye.